Hey everybody, Ike here. Welcome to a brand new episode of In the Shop. And as you notice, I've got shorts on, a t-shirt, and it's hot. It's summertime. It's been sweltering here. Temperatures in the 90s up to 100 degrees and water temperature in the 80s and 90s. This is hot summertime bass fishing. So for today's In the Shop, I'm going to give you my top 6 summertime bass baits. It's hard to break it down to just 6, but I'm going to do it by categories of 2. And I'm going to give you 2 for deep water, 2 for thick cover and shallow water, and 2 for current. And really, when you think about it, deep, thick, and current. Deep water, thick cover, and current are the 3 primary summertime patterns. So these are the baits to match up with those 3 different patterns, okay? So heat of the summer, a lot of fish go deep. And deep is a relative term to wherever you're fishing, but basically some of the deepest water in that lake or pond or stream that you're fishing, bass are going to move there because they're going to follow their food source. It's cooler water, there's oxygen down there. And my 2 favorite baits for fishing deep are a deep diving crankbait and a drop shot. 2 of my favorite deep water baits. You know, a deep diving crankbait, the great thing about that bait is you can cover so much water, and the bill of that bait will help it dive to those deep depths. So I really love the Rapala DT series. DT stands for dives 2. So I can really pick the crankbait to that depth of water that I'm fishing. If I'm fishing in 10 foot, I use a DT 10. If the deep water is 14 foot, I use a DT 14. If it's 20 feet, I'll use a DT 20. And that long bill will help that crankbait get to that deep water, and you could cover tons of water with it and create a reaction strike. So number 1 for deep water is a deep diving crankbait. The second one is gotta be a drop shot. And I love a drop shot for fishing deep because it can get down really quick. And you know a drop shot is a hook tied in line with a length of leader below it to a weight. And when we fish it, it sinks quick to those deep depths. It gets right to the bottom, but it lets that bait sit horizontally above the bottom. Little drop shot bait. I really love the Berkley Power Bait Max Scent stuff. This is the flatworm. They have one called the hitworm. They have a flat nose minnow. They have a lot of shapes. But that drop shot lets me get the bait deep, keep it in place, shake my rod, and that bait comes alive. So for deep water, when you need a little more finesse, a drop shot is perfect. Smallmouth lakes, spotted bass lakes, you gotta have that in your deep water arsenal. So 1 and 2, crankbait and drop shot for deep water.